Ah yes, the Xbox 360. Now, if you used to own one of these bad boys back in the day, then I think you can agree with me when I say that the era of the Xbox 360 was truly the golden age of gaming. Being the spiritual successor to the original Xbox, it was released to the public on November 22nd, 2005. In total, there were 84 million units sold, so needless to say, everyone and their grandma owned an Xbox 360. But enough with the history lesson, because in this video, I'll be talking about my childhood experiences with this 7th generation gaming console. So, without further ado, let's jump in. Alright, so let me take you guys back to December of 2012. It's Christmas Eve at night. Me and my brothers are opening our gifts and emptying our stockings. We then open this one big present and find out that it's an Xbox 360. Now, when we saw the Xbox, we literally screamed. You know that one video of those kids getting a Nintendo 64 for Christmas? I had the same reaction they had, only with an Xbox. Now, the Xbox came with 2 games that we could play right off the bat, Skyrim and Forza Motorsport 4. Needless to say, we played the shit out of those 2 games. We also played the games that were pre-installed on the Xbox, like the demo version of Trials HD and Hydro Thunder Hurricane. And of course, we also played the trial version of Minecraft over and over. Honestly, even though it wasn't the full version of the game, it was still fun as hell playing in that tutorial world before the trial expired.
I am now loading Acclaim's Revolt. I will soon experience complete oneness with an interconnected global community of game warriors.
Forget that, let's play!
In this section, I'll be talking about my favorite games I used to play on the 360. Now, I'm not going to talk much about Skyrim, Forza, and Minecraft since you guys probably already know how great all 3 of those games are. With that being said, let's start off with an underrated game, Happy Wars. Now, I found out about this game after watching my older brother play it after his friend suggested the game to him. As a result, I poured hours and hours into it using my brother's Xbox Live account since I didn't have one at the time. But after I did get Xbox Live for myself, I poured even more hours into the game. I remember this one time I played for 8 hours straight one night, just grinding to get my characters level up and to get powerful weapons and armor. The goal of Happy Wars is to break into the enemy's castle and destroy their big tower before they destroy yours. Back then, the game was such a blast to play. The game is only available on Xbox One as of this video since the PC and Xbox 360 versions shut down, which is a bummer. Also, the game is pretty much dead in the water as well, so if you're looking into getting into a match without bots these days, then knock yourself out. However, there's actually a whole initiative that's focused on bringing back Happy Wars on PC. It's called Happy Wars Revival. Now, of course, the whole thing is a work in progress, and it's also pretty dead as well, but if some of you are interested, I'll leave a link to the unofficial Happy Wars Discord server in the description. But yeah, that's Happy Wars. Good game in my opinion, 8 out of 10. Now, on to the next game that I really enjoyed, Hydro Thunder Hurricane. I'm sure a lot of you guys have at least heard of this game if you've ever gone to 360. For those of you who haven't, it's a racing game where you take control of 9 different boats, or 17 if you include the DLC. And, well, race. You can speed up by using your boost, and you can pick up these beer bottle looking things to fuel up your boost. If you do not have any boost, then you won't be able to use it to speed up. There are other modes in this game, but talking about them all would make this video a bit longer than I intend on making it, so yeah. It's a great game. 9 out of 10. Moving on, another game that I really enjoyed and still enjoy to this very day, Castle Crashers. Released in mid to late 2008, Castle Crashers is a beat-em-up 2D game where you play as over 31 different characters, each with their own unique magic attack. As you progress in the game, the harder the opponents become. And once you beat the game once, you can try your hand in beating Insane Mode, which makes the game 10 times harder, hence why it's called Insane Mode. I still play Castle Crashers to this day, and I even own a Blue Knight figure that sits on my desk. So, needless to say, Castle Crashers is one of my favorite video games of all time. The Venomoth outdid themselves with this timeless classic, 10 out of 10. The last game that I'll be talking about is, of course, Trials HD. In this game, you basically ride dirt bikes through insane obstacle courses to reach a finish line. And boy oh boy is it hella fun. This is yet another game that my brothers and I replayed over and over before we eventually got the full version. Funny story, we actually used to own a red Xbox controller that had a built-in light, and right after my mom bought the full version of Trials HD, I ended up breaking the controller out of anger. So yeah, needless to say, I'm a pretty hardcore gamer. And with that, that's some of my favorite games that I like to play on the 360. Now, of course, there are a lot of other games that I did not mention, but if I were to mention those games, then again, it would make this video a lot longer than I intend on making it. So yeah. In this section, I'll be talking about the Kinect. The Kinect was essentially an add-on for the 360 that allowed people to have motion sensing in Kinect games. It's pretty much Microsoft's great value version of the Wii, except it was incredibly hit or miss. For some games it was fun to use, but for a lot of games, it made games borderline unplayable. Back in the day, I had a Kinect for my Xbox. I got it after my mom bought it after she left work. It was out of the blue for her to do that, but that didn't matter since I had a lot of fun with the thing. The only game I would really play with the Kinect was Kinect Adventures. We also had Kinect Sports Season 2, but I didn't play it as much since it never really cooperated with me and I would get really frustrated playing it. But yeah, Kinect Adventures was actually a blast to play. Overall, I'm a bit indifferent when it comes to the Kinect, and I'm not the only one that has that opinion. Despite that, it did create a lot of fun memories, so that's a plus.
Calm down.
No!
I'm pretty sure every single Xbox player in the grandma knows about the red ring of death. Well, my 360 was also a victim of it, only it's technically the red dot of death since I owned a Kinect 360, but whatever. I remember the time my Xbox got the red ring of death clear as day. I was just chilling playing some GTA Online, rest in peace to OGen GTA Online by the way, and the game was stuttering, most likely due to how old the Xbox was. I got annoyed by this and I lightly tapped the top of the Xbox with my fist, and then the game froze. And when I rebooted the Xbox, boom. Red ring. When I saw that happen for the first time, I got a bit freaked out because honestly, something about an Xbox getting the red ring or red dot of death is a bit uncanny to look at. I don't know, maybe it's just me though. So anyways, after my Xbox got the red ring of death, I took the hard drive out of it, told my mom about it, and we put it in the garage on top of a bunch of boxes for the time being. Now, why my mom would put it in the garage on top of a bunch of boxes is beyond me, because later on it actually backfired on us, unsurprisingly. How? Well, one day we decided to take a family road trip to GameStop to pick up a used 360, and as we were backing out of the driveway, the Xbox actually fell off the stack of boxes and landed hard onto the concrete floor of the garage. You know those drop test videos a lot of those tech channels would make? Well, it kind of looked like that. When it broke, I really didn't think much of it since it already got the red dot, so it didn't really matter. But honestly, looking back, it was actually pretty unfortunate that happened since it was the 360 I got for Christmas, and because GameStop allowed people to trade in their broken or old consoles for money at the time. But it is what it is, I suppose.
How many times did Holy shit! Holy shit!
In conclusion guys, the Xbox 360 was a pretty solid console. I have a lot of fond memories of it despite the ups and downs it had. Honestly, if it weren't for the 360, I probably wouldn't be into gaming as much as I am into it today. That being said, after the Xbox One came out, it kinda sucked for 360 players since it meant that Doomsday was on the clock for it, and I'm pretty sure that day has long passed by now. Even though it's dead, I do dig the fact that Microsoft is still giving away free games with the Games with Gold promotion. Now, of course, that'll probably shut down in the future as well, since, again, the Xbox 360 is dead in the water. Regardless, it still gets a huge thumbs up for me. But yeah, anyways guys, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the blast of the past if you played on the 360 too. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, join my Discord server, follow my TikTok, share this video with your friends, turn on notifications, and leave a comment below telling me about your fond memories you had with your Xbox 360 or any last gen console you had. I read every single comment that I get. With that being said, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.